Hey guys, welcome to the channel if you're new, welcome back if you're a subscriber. Special thanks to all of my patrons. My name's Neil, and it's time for the next episode of Lost. Normally we get the big mind-blowing, this changes everything moment at the end of a season of Lost. And the season 4 to 5 transition was a little different because this time we got it at the start of season 5 in episode 1, where we find out our group on the island. When Ben vanished the island, moved the island, the people on the island, at least our survivors, started jumping through time. Back and forth, back and forth. Locke and our Frades, Sawyer and Juliet, they all seem to be moving in sync because they met up at the end of episode 2. But there's no apparent rhyme or reason as to how they're as to why they're jumping to certain points in time. They just seem to be flipping back and forth. Presumably that's going to have to stop at some point. And I feel like that's going to require a two-pronged approach. First of all, I think Daniel's the one to have to figure it out. And we were teased at the very beginning of episode 1 of this season of him back in like the 70s, maybe the early 80s, during the construction of Orchid Station, when he meets Dr. Chang in the excavation of that. He's undercover, he's in disguise, but at that spot in the rock where there's the concentration of the weird power source that enables control of time, where the wheel is that Ben pushed at the end of season 4. So we need to, I suspect the rest of our group is also in that timeline. They're just in hiding somewhere away from the Dharma Initiative. But yeah. And the other big question, obviously, about this jumping back and forth in time is why aren't the others, and Richard, his group, why are they not jumping through time? Why are they on a fixed timeline while our characters are jumping back and forth through it? Really interesting question. Now, Dan's already managed to influence our regular timeline, let's call it that for lack of a better word, which is our Oceanic 6 plus Ben in, I think we're going to call it 2008. They've been rescued for about 3 years is what we're hearing. So, and they were rescued in early 2005, let's call this 2008. Ben has a short time frame now, less than 72 hours now, to reassemble the group. Right now he's got Jack and he's got Locke's body, and that's it. He needs to get Saeed and Hurley, who are on the run. He needs to get Kate and Aaron, who are on the run. We've got to find Sun, who's working with Whittmore to kill Ben. We've got to get all of these moving pieces together. At least they're all in Los Angeles for the time being. But we have to get them all together in the next short period of time and get back to the island. Does Ben even know where the island is? What's he been up to in the real world for the last 2+ years? We know that he sort of skipped about 10 months between the turning of the wheel and him popping up in Tunisia in October 2005. So, how do these two storylines converge? They converge through Desmond, because Desmond's having dreams/memories of that meeting with Dan at the hatch door, the Swan Hatch, during one of their flashbacks on the island. Those memories have resurfaced, and now he knows he needs to get to Oxford. Not to find Dan, but to find Dan's mother. Now, I have a theory. And when I come out with this theory, I'm going to either look like a frickin' genius or just another, another wild guessing Losty. But I have a theory. It's a weird theory, because why would Dan's mother be in Oxford at all? Dan's got an American accent. When we first saw him back in, when we first saw his first flashbacks, back in, I think it was episode 2 of season 4, he was living in the U.S. When Desmond flashed back to him in episode 405, The Constant, he had an American accent even while he was living and working at Oxford. So, why would his mother be in Oxford? Well, maybe he's got a British mother. Maybe that's half the reason he went to Oxford in the first place. Do we know any elderly women living in the UK that seem to have a handle on the fact that weird timey-wimey stuff is happening? Well, what about the white-haired woman that Desmond bumps into in the antique shop when he gets that ring? What about her? She's the one that said the universe course corrects. That we can't change the future. Even though we can time travel, we can't change the future. What's going to happen is what's going to happen. That she and Dan seem to be very much on the same page there. And why is time travel Dan's area of focus? Maybe he comes from a family that knows about time travel and he's trying to figure out how to control it. Maybe he's trying to figure out the math behind it. Maybe this is the Faraday family quest. We don't know this elderly woman's name, but maybe her last name's Faraday. Maybe she's Dan's mom. And Desmond and Penny are on their way to Oxford now. Last we saw them, they were pulling up anchor on their boat and headed to Oxford. So, do we get to see them cross paths with this woman that Desmond has already met without knowing that she's Dan's mother? It's a theory. It's a theory. I mean, like I said, I'm either going to look like a genius or it's just going to go down in my massive list of other wild guesses that turned out to be completely wrong. Anyway, I'm excited to see where we go in this one. This is episode 3, guys, of season 5, and it's called Jughead.
Previously on Lost.
Find my mother. Her name?
What is her name? We don't know her name. Or were we back in Indonesia? What's this?
Efren Salonga! Efren Salonga! Efren Salonga!
Oh, that shut them up.
What's the matter with you?
What is wrong with... Is Penny okay?
Where have you been?
It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay.
Oh, is she giving birth? Oh, that's a surprise. Is this them on their way to Oxford, or is this something within... Or is this sometime between 2005 and 2008? Birth is always so darn quick on a TV show. One of these extended 8-hour labors.
You did it.
What are they going to call their boy? What are they going to call him?
I love you.
Did you know they use strawberry jam on little babies to make them look like they've just been birthed? There's an insider trade secret. Because you are not allowed to put makeup on
Right out there,
little children.
beyond where you can see, there's an island. And it's a very special island.
So that was early on. That was like 2005, 2006.
I left it a long time ago. Never thought I'd see it again. Great Britain is Scotland. That's where your daddy's from. There's mountains and glens and monsters and deep lochs and...
Monsters.
We'll be in and out. You'll never know we're here, Penny.
Don't underestimate
So that's
him,
why they're
Desmond.
on the boat, just to stay away from Charles?
If he finds out we're here, I don't know what he'll do.
Everyone on that island is in danger, and I am the only one that can help them.
Yeah. Penny doesn't want to lose Desmond again, though. So what's their kid's name? Did I miss it? I don't think I did.
Hey, how's your headache?
Worse, actually, but...
She's getting the same nosebleeds that Desmond did when he was doing the flashes in the Constant, but I haven't seen any sign that she's making these jumps.
Why do you look so worried?
Listen to me. Nothing is gonna happen to you. Nothing.
Miles,
Tripwire. Watch out, guys. We need to kill a couple of ensign red shirts. No, jeez. Claymores. Yep. Kill a couple of random stuntmen. See all that dirt that was floating on the water? That would be styrofoam. Oh. Hello. Who are these guys? And what time frame are we in exactly?
You just couldn't stay away, could you?
Ah, yes. When are we now? Because who are all these new people? This quasi-military group with like rustic bows and arrows. So many questions.
I don't understand how any of this works any more than you do it. But I know it happened.
Desmond's faith in the scientist is impressive.
I'll be back by dark, and then I'm done.
It's just a day trip to Oxford and back. I suppose it is. England's so much smaller than I think.
If you're going to promise me something, Des, can you promise me you'll never go back to that island again?
Ooh.
Why in God's name would I want to go back there?
Where are the rest of your people?
Maybe they got blown up by some more of your landmines.
We didn't put them here, you did.
What? Okay. Here's a handful more of our people.
Who are these people? Well, gee, I didn't have time to ask that with Frogurt on fire and all.
This is a .30 caliber M1 Garand rifle. Looks new.
It's like World War II era.
What happened to your leg?
I got shot.
By who?
We
Ethan.
can swap stories later.
So this is, I'm going to say this is pre-Dharma.
Quai non sunt quasi tu seis.
Take.
Cognos quitus qui sumus.
What language is that?
Speaking Latin.
And how is it that they know how to speak Latin, Julia?
The same reason I do.
They went to Oxford.
Because they're others.
All the others speak... So the others are descended from like... Oh, this is so confusing. Did they start off as a military organization? Alright. The dead are present here.
Just walked over a fresh grave. 4 U.S. soldiers. 3 of them were shot. 1 died of radiation poisoning.
Radiation poisoning.
Did any of them happen to mention what year it is?
Do the dead say that? When they died? Oh. Is this the same location that becomes the bungalows, I wonder?
Richard, we're back.
Richard's here. Okay.
I assume you've come back for your bomb.
Bomb? Is this related to nuclear testing or something? If there's radiation poisoning and a bomb?
There's no record of any Faraday ever having been employed here at Oxford.
I went to his lab. It was in an attic. It was above the physics department.
You don't happen to recall the year it was in which you last visited?
The year?
96.
I'm not exactly sure.
You gonna try and find that attic? It's been a while. Why can't he remember it was 1996? How long is the fumigation? That feels like it's just a way to close a lab. Yeah, this is definitely his lab. Has it just been shuttered since 96? How long since he's been here? So they wiped all records of him ever being there, so he must have done some weird stuff. Is that a picture of his mother? No. That's not Charlotte. Who's that? Yeah, the maze. Eloise.
Yeah, I wouldn't touch that. Yeah, you're not the first one to poke around here asking about him and his work.
You're gonna find about Mother?
Tell your mates that all you found was rubbish left behind by a man.
Why don't they just throw everything out? It's an odd thing to sort of
Fair enough.
leave untouched. But okay. Story point. I'll let it slide.
The university says there's no record of him.
Well, can you blame him? I mean, after what he'd done to that poor girl.
What girl? What did he do? What did he do? Did he do human experiments and accidentally kill someone?
We just need to keep it together until there's another flash. All right? Then all this disappears. But they must think that we're with the American military. And if that's the case, our best chance of staying alive is to let him keep thinking it.
So who?
Sorry, am I interrupting?
Who are the others? They're all.
Ellie tells me that you're not willing to reveal where the rest of your squad is?
Why would I do that?
You come to our island to run your tests.
Okay. Others have already been here, but they're in like military equipment.
So what? So they sent you here to recover it?
You mean our hydrogen bomb? Then yes.
So Richard's obviously not going to go no Locke in this timeline.
The rest of your people are either captured or dead.
Why are the others in American military?
Duque nos har bästa Castra.
Quite a hawk fuck you.
Just ne Ricardas, maybe?
She knows Richard.
Okay, we need to head east. Another couple kilometers till we hit the ridge.
Shoot him!
Whoa.
Shoot, damn it!
John's not a killer.
Why didn't you shoot him?
He's one of my people.
He's another. Locke's another now.
I'm looking for Teresa Spencer.
You must come in.
Is she just like in a vegetative state, in a coma? What did he do to her? Oh, is this the woman that was in her in the photo?
He didn't tell you, did he? Teresa's way right now.
Oh, wait? What do you mean?
Sometimes she wakes up, thinks she's free, wants to know where her dolly is.
She's been jumping.
This was a mistake. I shouldn't have come. He left her like this?
Went running off to the States, never to be heard from again. What kind of a man does that?
Desmond knows all about abandoning.
I don't know what we would have done if it hadn't been for Mr. Whittmore.
I'm sorry, who?
Daniel's
Whittmore.
benefactor.
Okay, it makes sense that
Everything here is due to Mr.
Daniel
Whittmore.
was funded by Whittmore. But if Daniel's mother is working with the others...
A month ago, we found 18 members of an army battalion right here in our jungle. They're setting up this camp. We gave them the opportunity to leave the island peacefully. They weren't willing to do that, so I was forced to kill them.
By whom?
The chain of command, right?
Jacob.
Richard! Wait, he's one of them. You can't actually trust him.
Ellie, go. And it never occurred to you that they might follow you.
Follow me. Their leader is some sodding old man. What, you think he can track me? You think he knows this island better than I do?
Yeah, Locke knows the island pretty well by now.
Richard's always been here.
How old is he?
Old.
I'm gonna go down and finish my conversation with Richard.
That's gonna get us all killed.
No, I don't think it is.
Why do you keep looking at me?
No, I'm not.
You are.
It's weird that they're only sending this Ellie with Dan.
You look so much like someone I used to know.
Yeah. The girl,
Right then. Disarm it.
you know, show. Oh, okay. Ah, there's our title. Jughead. Art department had fun building that. Well, at least the trigger control panel is...
What are you doing up there?
let him do his thing. Alright. Radiation leak, presumably? Since there's radiation poisoning and one soldier died of radiation.
Back up.
What?
Get back, get back. It's unsafe. We need to move. Do you people have any access to lead or concrete? There's a crack in the casing. It needs to be filled with lead. You need to take it off this platform carefully and bury it. It won't go off.
How'd you know that?
Because 50 years from now, this island is still here. There you... I can explain myself a little better.
Drop your gun, Blondie.
Why don't we all put our guns down?
Says the woman with the machete.
Are they from the future, too?
Yep.
You told her?
I need to know where I can find Daniel Faraday's mother.
She's in Los Angeles.
Yep. Working with Ben. My theory's holding up so far.
Then get out of this mess. Don't put Penny's life in danger.
Nothing to do with you or my daughter.
Yeah, but Ben's threatened Penny. Ben's threatened Penny as revenge for Alex. Ugh, it's all just so intertwined. Hi.
Up, Bert! Richard, I need to talk to you! No! That's enough!
Pull out the compass.
Who are you?
The next time you see me, I won't know you.
My name is John Locke.
Is that supposed to mean something to me?
Not yet.
Jacob sent me.
Love it, love it, love it.
I said, put the gun down, Whittmore.
Whoa! Is that Charles Whittmore? What? Whittmore was on the island.
Nice to meet you.
Wow! Ah! Oh, love it. Whittmore was another.
Hi.
We have to go to LA. Oh my god.
She died a few years ago.
Whoa. He's giving it up.
Why are you lying to me?
I'm not.
Yeah.
Where is she?
Man, she's good
in Los Angeles. It's not our problem anymore. You're my life now. You and Charlie.
Charlie! Oh! Oh, that's so happy. Oh, because Charlie brought them together. Oh. Oh, that hits me right here.
So I guess we're going with you.
Oh.
I'm not sure what you're expecting me to say, John Locke.
I expect you to tell me how to get off the island.
That's very privileged information. Why would I share that with you?
And because I'm your leader.
You're my leader.
That's what you told me.
We have a very specific process for selecting our leadership, and it starts at a very, very young age.
This is why Richard...
All right. May 30th, 1956. 2 years from now, that's the day I'm born. Tustin, California. And if you don't believe me, I suggest you come and visit me.
Oh my god, this explains. This explains.
What's about to happen again?
Another frickin' flash.
How do I get off the island? Please, tell me!
No, not enough time. Oh! But that explains the whole loop. That's why Richard keeps popping up in Locke's past. Oh, because Locke sent him. And Whittmore was another. Oh, so many awesome revelations. Where's the bomb?
You okay?
Yeah, fine.
Yeah, me too. I'm great too.
It's like Charlie vibes back from the second half of the pilot. Uh-oh.
Charlotte! Look at me, look at me. It's okay. Okay.
Are we killing Charlotte?
Charlotte!
Are we killing Charlotte? That was a fun episode. There's some very cool revelations in there, obviously. So I think my theory from the start of the episode is still holding up. That Daniel Faraday's mother is in fact our white-haired woman that we've seen in Desmond's flashbacks and we saw working with Ben at the end of episode 2. That makes sense so far. Whittmore was another. Whittmore knows Richard. Whittmore has spent time on the island, and he's spent all this time since 1954 trying to get back. So why did he get kicked out of the others? Is that what happened? Is Whittmore behind the Dharma Initiative at some level? I don't know, man. Ugh. So much to process, but we're left with this cliff with Charlotte dying, and I know that Dan and Charlotte are supposed to have feelings for each other and be a couple, but it's one of the few times on this show that I don't feel like chemistry was obtained. And maybe it was just because it was a little too subtle or unwritten. They didn't have enough moments together, but Charlotte always felt like a bit of a flat character to me as well. Love Daniel. Daniel's such an interesting character. It's a shame that Charlotte was kind of flat and two-dimensional. just untrusting. We never really got to know her very well. I'm assuming she's dead, that she's just being written out. Maybe that's not the case, but if the women that Daniel gets attached to keep ending up in these catastrophic circumstances, that kind of adds to his tragedy, his narrative, makes him an even more interesting character, because he put presumably a woman that he had some attachment to into a... I don't want to say coma, but into this bedridden state where she's doing the same flashes that it seems Desmond was doing back during the Constant. She's flashing back to her childhood constantly, it sounds like. In any case. Whittmore was on the island. That's intriguing. That's very intriguing. I love that Desmond and Penny have a child, and they named him Charlie. I think that's perfect. That is genius storytelling there, because, obviously Charlie and Desmond formed a bond on the island when Desmond repeatedly had visions and repeatedly saved him, and then Charlie sacrificed himself to save Desmond, and Charlie on that broadcast was the one that managed to reach out to Penny, and that's what facilitated the rescue from the helicopter. That's just such satisfying story development. Kudos to the writers for that. Love that. And Penny is on board with LA. But Desmond was willing to walk away from it because he took Whittmore's request to heart that leave her out of it. Step away. This isn't your fight. So how long was Whittmore on the island? How long have this group of others been on the island? Why are they all in military gear? I get that they killed the U.S. battalion and took over their camp, but why? It's a little odd that they took all their clothes. But in any case, further confirmation that Richard has always been on the island. That he's very old. I think that was pretty clear once we realized he didn't age. It kind of makes, and that he's not affected by the time jumps either. That's the other really interesting thing. Why isn't he not affected by the time jumps the way our main characters are? That's something to maybe explain down the road, or maybe it's just part of the story. I don't know. There's a hydrogen bomb presumably buried on the island. It's like Faraday gave enough information to Ellie on how to safely dispose of it. Cover it with lead and or concrete, bury it. So there's presumably a hydrogen bomb buried on the island. Now, is it possible that when the Dharma Initiative are constructing Orchid Station, that they get close to where that bomb is buried? That's the power source. That's kind of fueling the time travel stuff. Sure, it's possible. Why else do you introduce burying a hydrogen bomb on the island? The other interesting thing is I love that Locke running into like early Richard is what precipitates Richard involving himself in Locke's life. It's this whole it's this whole bootstrap paradox of that constantly happens during time travel stories. Is like, what had to happen first, and why did Richard continually? I get why Richard continually decided not to bring Locke to the island. He had doubts, but wouldn't he have been wouldn't just the confirmation of the birthday been enough to make him seriously believe. In any case, other questions. Is Richard the only one who's always part of the others? Is he the only one that's, as Juliet puts it, old? How long has he been there? The fact that Latin is sort of their lingua franca makes, lends credence to the theory that they've been there a long time. Especially if the writers aren't going to invent a language like Atlantean. Oh. Whittmore was another. So Desmond and Penny are going to LA with baby Charlie. Oh, here's another thing. Jacob is real to Richard. That Locke mentioning Jacob's name is what made Richard believe him. So Jacob is not a figment of Ben's imagination. Jacob is real. Jacob does present himself to presumably first Richard and then Ben and now Locke. Like there's this chain of leadership over the years. But how long was Richard the leader before Ben came along? Why is Richard willing to sort of step aside while a new leader takes over? He did it once with Ben. He's doing it again with Locke in 2008. I like that we used the compass as the touchstone. Locke gives Richard the compass that Richard gave him in 2000 and whenever. We don't know exactly what year that flash was, when he dug the bullet out of his leg. And then in what's probably about 1966, when Richard visits young Locke in foster care and gives him a bunch of objects to choose from, one of those things is a compass. And Locke picks the compass first. And then he picks a vial of sand, and then he goes for the knife. And the knife is the issue. Anyway, I like how things are coming full circle, and yet the mystery isn't getting any closer to being solved. I'm really excited to see where this goes next. I'm loving this ride. I love all of you guys. I love all of you who take the time to leave a thumbs up, to leave your comments and thoughts. I love reading. First of all, thank you to the moderators who go through all the comments every episode to make sure I'm not spoiled on anything, but then I love going through these comments and seeing what you guys thought, what your theories were, how much you love this show. I get it, because I love this show. This show is so much fun. It's so memorable. It's so different from almost anything else I've ever seen on television. It must have been so groundbreaking back in the day, so different from anything else back in the day. It's been such an amazing ride, and if I'm sounding a little melancholy, it's because I see on the distant horizon a conclusion to it. That's gonna be a sad day, but hey, we've got almost 2 full seasons to go. So we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But I just want to thank all of you losties out there who are enjoying this ride with me. I'm having a ton of fun. I hope you guys are too. If you like to support the channel, don't forget to check out my Patreon. The link's in the description below. That's the absolute best way you can support Neil Talks and make sure I can continue putting content out like this. You'll also get early access to all of my reactions. We're about 5 or 6 episodes ahead on Patreon, so if you just can't wait for my next reaction, that's the best place to get ahead. Until next time, everybody, take care, stay healthy, and we'll see you soon. Cheers.